Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another daily cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get right to this information today. I'll keep it short and sweet today. So, as we know, Fidelity Digital Assets gets the New York Trust Charter to custody Bitcoin for institutions. Again, New York is one of the most regulated states, so when you do get any type of custody license, especially in the digital asset space, it should at least validate many of the investments and the products to come that will be built upon these blockchains as well. Granted, I know this is primarily Bitcoin, but they will be adding others in the future. Now, one thing I want to get across is we know that Fidelity has, called Bitcoin a scam, just like Forbes, a bunch of groups, and saying cryptocurrency is not here to last. Yet, they've been scooping up millions upon millions. Fidelity at least dated back to what, 2015, I believe? And you guys can double check this as well. But right here, I did like this tweet. So, by Bamboo XRP. Interesting to me that as soon as digital assets, referring to Fidelity Digital Assets, the institutional solution for a new asset class, gets their New York City license to custody crypto, and then we tank. Tinfoil hat tells me there's some very smart people that will be buying these lows to redistribute at higher prices. And that's how this works, folks. Guys, nothing's changed. Market is run by, rampant with manipulation. Obviously, every market is, so do not be fooled. It goes way beyond just cryptocurrency, metals, commodities, stocks, you name it. But just realize what is happening, and you have to have this type of market psychology. You have to have the mindset of a true investor in understanding what has utility, what will survive, and what will actually have value that is driven by true utility. All right. Next, so Crypto King just tagged me in this. So again, Ripple's Director of Venture Partnership explains the position of X Series, RippleNet, and ODL, on-demand liquidity. As we know, guys, X Series was the RippleNet suite of products, the software products. We had X Via, we had X Current, and X Rapid. X Rapid used XRP, and now they've actually just gotten rid of this entire X Series. Said in the past it confused a lot of customers. Keeping it short and sweet now, and everything is simply RippleNet. So right here's the quote. All the infrastructure is RippleNet, and on-demand liquidity is provided as an option for settlement, and this does solely use XRP. Excuse me. And so the legal currency base is simply RippleNet, as you said, and Emmy stated in a tweet, adding that the name of XRapid now became on-demand liquidity. Okay? And again, this is all from Emmy Yoshikawa, Senior Director of Joint Venture Partnerships at Ripple. So just wanted to refer to that. So again, guys, we're not really going to utilize that terminology anymore, but I know a lot of you already understand the differences with XVIA being the interface and different types of rich payment format data. We have X Current, which actually uses interledger protocol and atomic swap technology. So when atomic swaps essentially mean is the transaction is either instant or it does not complete at all. It's all or nothing. So again, Xcurrent can also use, XRP, so no surprise there. We've already heard about that Xcurrent 4.0 update a while back. But again, from now on, guys, the keywords really is just on-demand liquidity. So when a customer is on RippleNet, that's good news. We want more and more customers, and eventually the whole idea is moving them to settlement with on-demand liquidity, which uses XRP 100%. All right, and we're going to finish off with this by XRP_Stuart. This is an interview that David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, did a few years ago. I know I actually showed this in a video earlier this year, just talking about the US dollar and any other type of currency being the reserve currency on the Ripple network. And let's just entertain this. Keep an open mind. Nothing's guaranteed, guys, but I just want to quote the actual CTO of Ripple so there's no hype. You get your facts straight and understand how there could be benefits and how going forward, how countries or, potential governments could view the XRP ledger with actual utility. Now, regardless, I am bullish even if we stick to the on-demand liquidity premise and MoneyGram continues to launch and scale, because we are seeing peanuts right now. But when they truly launch, yes, I am beyond bullish, guys. Anything under $1 XRP is a complete steal in my opinion. And yes, mathematically, when they're starting to send higher value instead of these low value, high volume payments, that is when the price will really turn around. All right, so really quick, I'm going to read this verbatim. So, John, and the interviewer's name is John, so he goes, I see. Is it possible, just as the US dollar is the reserve currency of the world right now, against what a lot of people would like to see, is it possible that the USD could eventually be the reserve currency of the Ripple protocol or Ripple network? And David Schwartz says, it's certainly possible. You could also see another government in any country do this, introducing, let's say, gold, a 100% reserve-backed gold on the Ripple network, and people might decide, ooh, that's what I want to use as my reserve currency. because maybe the government of China does that and people trust them. There's certainly any number of ways this could play out. To some extent, Ripple Labs has bet on XRP. Ripple Labs holds an enormous number of XRP, and our primary business model is that they'll appreciate in the future. But of course, there's no guarantee. Now remember guys, anything on the XRP ledger, whether they send Bitcoin, gold, any tokenized version of anything, any asset, the fastest way to settle is XRP, like period. So whenever the route makes the most sense, it's going to use XRP to settle that transaction, and it'll also be cheap as possible. So right here, John, I see. So now that concept that the US dollar could be the reserve currency of Ripple, of course, you know that people hearing this show and hearing that, if they've not heard that before, talk about ripples, aka XRP back in the day is what they called it, ripples, going out. That's going to cause a lot of people to be afraid and to think, wow, we don't want Ripple because the US government, I'm sure now, since they heard this episode of Bitcoins and Gravy, and this is the episode this was on, you can go check this out verbatim, this is just the transcript, they're onto it for the first time. You know, they're slow, they're sleeping, usually. Now they're going to work as hard as they can to get the US dollar to be the reserve currency of Ripple, and we're back to the same place we were before Ripple and Bitcoin and all of this. What do you say to someone like that? And I get that. Now David says, well, they have to compete in a fair playing field. There's that terminology again, and this was years ago. Level playing field, fair playing field. So the intermediary currency could be the US dollar, and you could still hold whatever currency you want. You can hold Bitcoin, you can hold the Ripples, you know, any type of tokenized asset, as I've just said. And that would just be where the liquidity is. Remember, whatever has the liquidity will succeed. That is one of the necessary components you need, liquidity and volume. Now, they would have to compete on a completely fair or level playing field because people do not choose intermediary currencies. They just want payments, or they just make payments with the cheapest path they find, just like this whole TCP/IP protocol. Guys, they are going to be routing payments the fastest way possible. I'm sure a lot of you have heard Stephen Thomas, former CTO of Ripple, discuss this with the Interledger protocol and XRP, and automatically routing the fastest way possible. As I've said yesterday, people don't care how the payment is made, what intermediary currency or asset is used. They just want to make sure it gets there and it is fast, scalable, cheap. They don't even care about that, but the actual, businesses do. And that is why XRP is best positioned to do this. XRP is being distributed by Ripple day in and day out. There's a method to the madness. This is a marathon, not a sprint. No, I am not being paid by Ripple to promote this. This is just a technology that I believe in. Yes, I'm invested, so I may have confirmation bias. But if anybody can actually put up a real reason why another asset, in terms of settlement and being a cross-border bridge asset, can beat XRP, I'm all ears. But again, guys, everything I've seen over the years is pure FUD, and it comes from someone that is either overinvested in Bitcoin or just doesn't really understand the utility of the XRP ledger. So again, guys, let me know any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns down below, and I will see you in the next video.